Welcome to your practice. We are going to begin today's class in sitting. So if you need a prop underneath your hips, feel free to do so. Just trying to relax all the muscles, soften your shoulders, and maybe take a deep breath in through your nose and out through your mouth. Maybe close the mouth if it feels good to you and cycle the breath in through the nose and out through the nose, but always keeping the breath comfortable, not panicking, and just releasing the tension. On a breath in, lower your right ear to right shoulder, and on a breath out, move your chin to your chest. And then on a breath in, roll left ear to left shoulder, and on a breath out, move chin back to chest. We're going to roll right ear back over to right shoulder on your next inhalation, and roll chin back to your chest on your exhalation. Left ear to left shoulder, breathe in. Chin to chest, breathe out. Right ear to right shoulder, breathe in. Chin to chest, breathe out. One more, left ear to left shoulder, breathe in. And chin to chest, breathe out. Take a breath in, rise your gaze, maybe lifting the chin up a little bit. And then exhale, bring your gaze to neutral. If your eyes are still closed, maybe flutter them to open. Inhale, sweep your hands over your head high, palms come to touch. As you exhale, drop your right hand to the earth beside you and lean your left hand across and over your body. And then inhale, reach both fingertips skyward. And exhale, drop left hand to the earth beside you and reach your right arm over and stretch the side waist. Inhale, reach hands high. Exhale, plant right hand beside you and lean gently to the right. Inhale, reach hands high. Exhale, drop left hand beside you and stretch the right side waist. Inhale, stretch hands high. Exhale, one more time on each side. Right hand, maybe going a little bit deeper, bending the elbow and seeing how far we can go without pain, and then reach back up. And then lean to the left, go a little bit deeper if you can, fingertips back up. Now we'll twist over to the right, so place your left hand on your right knee, right hand behind you. Spin your chest upward and then exhale, peek over your right shoulder as far as it feels good to you. Good. Take a breath in, release a little, and then exhale, twist a little deeper. Inhale, fingertips skyward. Exhale, twist to the left, placing right hand on the knee, left hand behind you. Inhale, draw up through your sacral bone, all the way through the crown of the head, and twist, looking behind that shoulder. Release just a little, and exhale, like you're wringing out a washcloth, twist a little bit deeper. Inhale, we'll come back to center, and then gently making your way onto hands and knees, however you choose. So we'll spread the fingertips very wide, pressing into the palm. Toes are untucked, knees are directly underneath hips. Sink your belly downward as you take your gaze forward and flare your tailbone back. And then exhale, draw your chin towards your chest as you round your back to the sky. Inhale, open into cow pose. Exhale, round up into cat pose. We're going to take 3 more at your own pace, moving 1 breath in and 1 breath out. Inhale, expand through the front body, and exhale, expand through the back body. 1 more, inhale, and exhale. And then we'll come into a neutral spine. So crown of the head long, back is long. Place the right hand behind your head. Left hand is grounded. Inhale, open your right elbow to the sky, and then try to tap your right elbow towards your left wrist. Inhale, open back up, and they might not meet. Exhale, close, but attempting to reach towards one another. Inhale, open. Exhale, close. Inhale, open. Exhale, close. Getting a little thoracic rotation. One more time. Inhale, open. And exhale, close. Place right hand to the mat. Drop your belly down. This time we're going to roll over towards your right rib cage. Like you're drawing a circle, curl your back up to the sky and then pull over towards your left rib cage and sink your belly down. We're going to reverse that. So roll to the left, curl your spine up over to the right, and roll your chest down. Back to neutral spine, draw your navel in, place the left hand behind the back of the head. On a breath in, open your left elbow to the sky. Exhale, elbow touches wrist. Inhale, whatever you can open up. Exhale, tap elbow to wrist. No forcing movements here. Just moving how the body feels comfortable, meeting yourself where you're at. Good. Inhale, open. And exhale, close. Place the left hand on the mat. Sink your belly towards the ground. This time we're going to roll to the left, curl your spine up towards the sky, and then roll to the right. Sink the belly down, and then reversing that, roll to the right, curl your spine up. See how your neck just kind of follows the spine, knowing that our neck is just an extension all the way up through our back. When you're ready, sink into a child's pose that feels good to you. So maybe knees separate. Maybe the hips have to stay lifted, or we place a towel between the feet and the hips. But softly lowering the forehead to the mat. This should feel restful, not like a strain. And know that you can always come here at any point in our practice if you need it. A little additional stretch of the lats and the triceps. We're going to prop up onto our elbows, place our palms to touch, and lower your forehead back to the mat. So maybe we stay here if that's a lot, or maybe we drop the thumbs to the nape of the neck. Feeling that deep stretch where our arm and our chest meet. Taking a few breaths into that space, we'll gently release the hands. Begin to walk our hands over to the left side of your mat, and you're going to place your left hand on top of your right. Kind of sink into your right hip a little bit more and breathe through your right rib cage. Expand again through that side body. And take 3 to 5 breaths in this position. And then we'll gently walk our hands over to the right side of our mat, and we'll place our right hand on top of the left, and again, sink a little bit deeper to that left side now and breathe into that left rib cage. Make space through the left side body. 3 to 5 breaths at your own pace. And then we'll bring our gaze to neutral, come back up into hands and knees. We're going to ground into the knees, ground into your left hand, and reach your right hand towards the wall in front of you. And extend your left leg straight back. So we don't want to dip the belly down. We want to draw our navel in and extend through your glutes. Hand and knee back to the earth. We're going to reach our left arm forward and our right leg back. So opposite arm and opposite leg. Keep your spine as long as possible and your neck neutral. Hand and knee back down. We're going to reach right arm and left leg back again. And then come back down, left arm and right leg open up. We're going to take 3 more each side, alternating back and forth. Inhale, reaching long. And exhale, coming back to the mat. Inhale, reaching long. And then exhale, come back to the mat. Extend and open. Keeping the back nice and flat, and hands back to the mat. Inhale, extend, open, and exhale back to the mat. One more time each side. And return to center one more time. And return to center. Walk your hands up a full handprint, spread fingers wide. Come into a neutral plank here, a modified plank. So keeping the toes untucked, draw your navel in, squeeze your glutes, elbows wrap towards one another so that when we bend the elbows, they go straight back, and lower your chest to the mat at the same time as the hips hit the earth. Press into your palms, lift up a little bit or a lot into a back bend, and then exhale, wave back down. So listen to your spine. Squeeze your elbows in, hands are by the rib cage, lift up, and then exhale, come back down. So I feel good in back bend, so I'm going up a little bit higher. If that doesn't feel good, stop before this. And exhale, wave back down. Gather up your core, tuck your tailbone, lift your chest and your hips at the same time, tuck your toes, maybe sit back like you're going to sit into a child's pose for just a moment. And then waving back forward into a modified plank, we're going to lift the knees and come up and back into downward facing dog. So right here, let's spread our fingers wide and everybody just bending your knees deeply. And then let's feel what the back is doing. So as our knees are really bent, we don't want to slam our chest towards our thighs so that our head is between or past the arms. We want our ears in line with our arm bones. Our back is nice and elongated. And then maybe we begin to straighten the legs out. But if we find that the back starts to curl up as we straighten the legs, we maybe find a little softness in the knees. So really seeing how the whole body is connected. And if one thing is compromised, everything is compromised. Good. Maybe shake the head yes and no to ensure that the neck is relaxed. And then gently peek to the top of your mat and tiptoe to your hands. On a breath in, slide your hands to the upper parts of your shins, straighten your back, and then exhale, fold into a half. Good. Sweep your hands up and over your head high, maybe palms come to touch, and draw your thumbs through the center of your body and reach back down towards the floor. Knees can be really bent. Inhale, slide your hands to your shins, halfway lift, and then exhale, fold gently. Again, sweep your hands over your head high for another sun salutation. Maybe palms come to touch. Trace a line through the center of your body with your thumbs as you forward fold with soft knees. Inhale, find your halfway lift, and this time exhale, plant your hands to the mat and step into plank pose. Knees or toes lower all the way to the earth. From here, untuck your toes, let your feet stay about hip or shoulder width apart, and we're going to place the tops of the hands to the small of the back. Your forehead is down to the earth and our elbows are dropping to the floor. With hands still touching the small of the back, lift your elbows up towards the sky and then sweep your thumbs forward and around so that your thumbs come to meet over the top of your head. Your forehead is still down as your hands sweep back behind you and the tops of the hands return to the small of the back and elbows drop back to the earth. Elbows lift up. Sweep your hands over your head, keep your forehead magnetized to the ground, and sweep your hands back. Backs of the hands come to the small of the back and drop elbows down. So this is a lot on the shoulders. Just find what feels good to you and assist if you need to by lifting that head. And then sweep all the way back around. We're going to take 2 more at your own pace. Lift elbows up, sweep your fingertips forward over the head. Thumbs come to touch, and then sweep the thumbs back so that the backs of the hands come to the small of the back. Elbows down, elbows up. Sweep your hands over your head, thumbs touch. Sweep hands back behind your back, and lower elbows down. Good. Begin to lift your head up, place your hands by your rib cage, lift up, lower high cobra, and then exhale, wave your chest to the mat. Tuck your toes, knees or toes come up into a plank and then into downward facing dog. Spread your fingers wide, knees are soft, spine is long. Inhale, reach your right leg high to the sky. Draw your knee to your nose and step your right foot between your thumbs. Square your hips together, your back heel is lifted. Draw up through your navel and then reach your fingertips up high for a crescent lunge. Again, hips are squared, shoulders are rolled down the back, palms are magnetized towards one another, and then sink down a little bit lower. We're going to go through our core flow here very slowly to start, and then we'll pick it up on the pace as we go along. Keep breathing, and on our next exhale, spin your left heel to the earth, bend your front knee, back leg is long, and then right arm reaches towards the front of your mat, left arm reaches towards the back of your mat. Gaze over your right middle finger. Make sure your right knee is not rolled towards the left side of your mat. Spin it open and sink into Warrior Two. Flip your palm towards the sky, your right palm, and let your left palm lightly rest on your back leg as you reach your right arm up and back for Reverse Warrior. Breathe through the right side body. And then on an exhale, we're going to come back to Warrior Two for a brief moment and then place your right elbow on your right thigh. Left hand reaches up to the sky. So making a nice long line between the crown of your head and the left heel. Maybe even look up to your left thumb for a balance challenge. We don't want to collapse in the right shoulder. We really want to draw up and through that shoulder girdle. So activate the right shoulder. We're not collapsing into that joint. Look to your left thumb as you spin your hand all the way down towards a block or the floor, maybe fingertips or palm on the left hand. And then as our back heel lifts, we're going to reach our right hand up to the sky and spot our right thumb with our gaze. If that makes you too dizzy, you can keep your gaze neutral or down to the floor. Don't let that left hip drop too much. We want to keep the hips squared. Circle the right hand to the mat. Step into downward facing dog at your own time. On your next breath in, big toes come to touch and begin to lift the left heel high to the sky. Draw your left knee towards your nose, lightly as you can. Step left foot to left thumb. Square your hips, back heel lifts, draw up through your navel, and then reach your hands up high to the sky into crescent lunge. So we're not bowing our low back. Our low back is nice and long, and we're feeling a good stretch in the front of the right hip. Now, because we're holding these a little bit longer, you're going to feel some heat build in the thighs. Be patient and breathe through it. Palms are magnetized towards one another. Shoulders are relaxed. Sink a little bit lower into the lunge. And then on your next exhale, we'll roll right heel to the earth as we bend the front knee. Reach your left hand to the top of the mat and right hand to the back of the mat. Fingers are soft and relaxed, and we're sinking into our Warrior Two. Think about stacking your shoulders right on top of your hips. Left knee is not rolled in. It's spinning out towards the left edge of the mat. Lightly place your right hand on the back thigh as you reach your left arm up and back into Reverse Warrior and feel a beautiful stretch along the left side body. Keep the breath moving in and out. And then coming back to Warrior Two for a brief moment, lower your left elbow to your left thigh and reach your right hand to the sky. So again, not collapsing in that left shoulder, we're engaging the left shoulder, pushing into that elbow, and maybe take our gaze to the left thumb for a little bit of a balance challenge. Circle the right hand to the mat and then reach your left hand up to the sky. So now spotting the left thumb. Again, we don't want to sink the right hip down too much. We want to square the hips, back heel is lifted, and maybe looking again to that left thumb. Using blocks if we need to under the right hand. Circle your left hand back to the mat. We'll step into downward facing dog. Option just to stay here and rest or find a child's pose. Or we'll wave forward to plank pose and take a vinyasa. Elbows stay close, knees or toes, lowering halfway or all the way, low high cobra or upward facing dog if it's in your practice, and then downward facing dog at your own time. Big toes come to touch. On a breath in, reach your right heel high to the sky. Begin to bend your right knee and stack your right hip on top of the left and kick through your right heel. Feeling a quad stretch the front of the right thigh. And then pull your knee towards your nose, step right foot to right thumb. Square your hips, rise crescent lunge on a breath in. On a breath out, let's roll into our Warrior Two, back heel to the earth. Flip your right palm to the sky, lightly place left hand back and Reverse Warrior. Cartwheel our right elbow to right thigh as we reach our left palm to the sky. Exhale, roll your left hand to the mat or block. Back heel lifts. Reach your right hand to the sky. Circle your right hand down by right foot. Step into downward facing dog. So starting to move one breath in, one breath out. Big toes touch. On a breath in, lift your left heel high. Bend your left knee and stack left hip on top of right. Push through your left heel. Feel a big stretch through the front of your left thigh. And then exhale, draw left knee to nose, step left foot to left thumb. Back heel stays lifted, rise crescent lunge on a breath in. And on a breath out, back heel rolls down, warrior two. Inhale, flip your left palm skyward. Exhale, reverse warrior. Inhale, hold, and then exhale, cartwheel your left elbow to left thigh. Reach your right hand skyward. Take a breath in and then exhale, circle your right hand down to the block or the floor. Back heel lifts as left hand reaches up high to the sky. Circle left hand down to the mat, step into downward facing dog. And again, choosing to stay here or maybe take your next vinyasa, knees or toes, lowering half or all the way to the mat, low, high cobra or upward facing dog. Exhale, move to downward facing dog. One more time on this essential little flow. Inhale, reach your right heel high to the sky. Exhale, stack right hip on top of left, bend the right knee. Inhale, hold for a moment, and then exhale, step right foot to right thumb. Square hips, rise crescent lunge on a breath in. Exhale, roll to warrior two. Inhale, palm reaches. Exhale, reverse warrior. Inhale, cartwheel, right elbow to right thigh. Reach up or maybe elongate that left arm, making a long line through your body. Exhale, circle your left hand down to a block or the floor. Back heel lifts, reach right hand high to the sky. Circle your right hand down to the earth and step into downward facing dog. Big toes touch, lift left heel high. Stack left hip on top of right, bend left knee. Inhale, hold, and then exhale, left knee to nose, step left foot to left thumb, rise crescent lunge on a breath in. Exhale, circle the right heel to the mat, open up warrior two. Inhale, reach, exhale, reverse warrior. Inhale, hold, exhale, cartwheel, left elbow to left thigh, reach right hand up or overhead long. Circle right hand down to the earth, reach left hand high. Exhale, cartwheel the hand down, step into downward facing dog. Take your final vinyasa here, waving forward if you choose. Knees or toes, lower half or all the way down. Inhale, back bend of choice. And exhale, downward facing dog. We're moving to pigeon pose, so if you know that you feel good with pigeon pose, let's reach our right heel high to the sky and bring our right knee through our thumbs. Untuck your back toes. And if this is too much on the hip and you know you don't enjoy pigeon pose, you can come onto your back and find a figure four piriformis stretch. We don't want to roll to the right hip if you are in this position. We want to keep our hips squared. So if there's too much space and it's a little bit uncomfortable for that right hip, you can place a block or a towel underneath the right hip. But when you're ready, just lowering into a fold, relaxed position. Maybe double fists, lowering the forehead down. And find some stillness in the body. Breathe through the stretch. Then we'll begin to lift the gaze. Place your hands to the mat. We'll tuck the back toes, step into down dog and shake your right leg out. Maybe walk in place, extending and bending the knees. And when you're ready, we'll still the feet and reach your left heel high, switching sides. Move the left knee through the thumbs. Find pigeon pose on this side. Square your hips, untuck your back toes. If you're on your back, just simply switch legs here. And then finding a forward fold, something that feels restful and tolerable, something that you can breathe through. I always tell my students, if it's so intense a stretch that you cannot breathe, the stretch is too deep and we're just making the muscles tense up even more. So we need to be able to listen to what our body's telling us and finding a comfortable place that we can, sit with the discomfort but not seek out pain. And just settle into the stillness and quiet for a few moments. And then we'll gently lift the gaze, place our hands on the mat, tuck the back toes and step into down dog, shake it out. We'll walk in place, bending and extending through the knees. And then we'll begin to still the legs and come into an easy seated position at your own time, at your own way. Making enough space for you to roll all the way down onto your back. Maybe grab the backs of the legs to assist you down one vertebra at a time until your head hits the mat last. And we'll keep the knees bent here in a hook lying position and just start to rock the knees very gently from side to side and see how rotation feels in the low back. Not seeking out pain, just finding a nice gentle stretch. And then we're going to roll all the way to the right side of our body as if you were just laying in bed. Extend your bottom leg all the way out and reach the top leg, so in this case our left leg up level with your hip. You're going to keep holding on to that knee, maybe with the right hand, and then sweep your left arm up and over your head for like an open book position until your left hand is out to a half T shape. And maybe take your gaze over to the left palm. Now, ideally, the left shoulder would stay down on the ground, but if it's popped up a little bit, that's okay. We just want to find somewhere that's comfortable and it's not a strain. Keep breathing through the stretch. And then reach your left arm over and then roll back onto your back. We'll begin to roll all the way over to our left side this time. We'll take the same stretch over here. So let's extend the bottom leg straight out, and then we'll hike our right knee up so that it's level with our right hip. And our left hand, you can't see it here, but our left hand is going to be staying on top of that right knee as we circle our right hand up and over for an open book stretch, looking at our right thumb and maybe even closing the eyes. Breathe through the stretch, wherever you may feel it. And then we'll gently reach our right arm all the way across our body and come back onto our side, and then gently roll to your back. We'll hug our knees up to our chest, and you could stay here or maybe find a happy baby position, reaching our arms inside of our legs, and then maybe grabbing ankles or even the pinky toe edges of our feet. Let the feet come out, let the knees drop out and feel a nice inner thigh stretch. Use the weight of the arms just to pull the knees down a little bit closer to the shoulders. You could stay still or you could sway side to side and massage the low back. And then we'll still the feet whenever you're ready. And maybe bringing the bottoms of the feet to touch, and then lowering the pinky toe edges of the feet down to the earth. Finding Supta Baddha Konasana, reclined butterfly pose. Hands come where they feel most natural. And we'll come into a final rest position for just about a minute. So you could stay there, or you could stretch your legs out long. Taking a full Shavasana. Let the palms float up towards the sky in a sign of receiving the benefits of your practice. Maybe take a deep inhale and then exhale, sigh out the mouth. Relax the whole body down and take a moment of stillness and quiet. And then we'll start to bring movement back into the body. Maybe stretch your arms over your head long, extend through your toes, get as long as you possibly can. And then we'll roll to one side of our body and rest here for a moment. And maybe take this as an opportunity just to say thank you for something in your life today, a moment of gratitude. And when you're ready, we'll meet in easy seat, just as we began our practice, but maybe feeling a little bit different now. So feel free to keep the eyes closed here in our final moments together. We'll close our practice by sweeping our hands over our head high. Let our palms come to touch down over our third eye, all seeing, all knowing, into our heart center. Thank you so much for practicing with me today.